Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV, and I'm hot tuna today. Hot tuna, got one of the old big tops on. It's a bit tight now.
Something fishy going on here, mate. Something fishy.
Oh, Bernard, dear me, Mr. Pun Bernard Deneen from the Citizen Channel. How you doing, mate? You warm? You warm today?
Well, as long as we keep this short, mate, and can put my house coat back on, I'll be fine.
Ah, dear. We're here to preview the game against the Spurs in the FA Cup down at, I don't know what they call it now, the new White Hart Lane Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, okay. Today
why have they not named? Why have they not commercialised it yet?
I'm surprised. I think they're looking for the right deal. I mean, I think they wanted, someone said 20 million a year, and maybe no one wants to pay that after the pandemic.
Someone wants to sponsor a team that actually win things, you know.
Well, you see, that's why City gets so much money, because we win stuff. It's not just because we're based in London or anything like that. We actually win stuff. And the truth is, big organizations, successful organizations, want to sponsor a successful team. They want to be associated with success, not with failure.
Most commercial executives like us don't remember the last time Tottenham won anything major. So, there you go. That's most of them weren't born. So I'm not a Tottenham fan. I'll admit it now. If any Tottenham fans are watching, I'm sorry, guys. All right, I've sort of got over 81 a little bit with the League Cup winner 3 or 4 years ago, but I still resent that.
That was actually going to be my first question. Okay, in your top 4 most despised, hated teams, where do Spurs figure?
It's pity now, I think, mate. I don't think it's hate anymore. It's just pity, because they have their fans. Let's face it. I mean, if any are watching, they stick up for themselves, which is fair enough. They're loud. Typical Southerners. All credit to them. I mean, why not? You stick up for your own team, don't you? But they are sort of. If Arsenal fans do it, I can sort of forgive them a little bit because they've had some success. But Spurs fans, what have you got to be cocky about? What have you done over the last 30,
That's the only thing you got
years?
to be cocky about is the cockerel on top of the stadium.
No, I mean, all credit to them, mate. Hey, listen, we could still be in the same boat as them, where we're sort of still trying to get the scraps and stuff like that. So, hey, all credit to any guy who grows up a Tottenham fan now. All credit to him. I tip my hat. I don my hat to him.
Especially when Arsenal winning, you're supporting the weaker club in the area. But look, they got a golden cock on top of the stadium to oversee the cocks that are in the stadium and the cocks that are on the pitch. And they're not golden cocks. So, well, I'll tell you my top 4 most hated teams, and I think it's quite easy.
My top 4 are United Reserves, United Women's Team, and United some other youth team. There you go. There's my 4.
And United's disability team, and
United the paraplegic team and stuff like this. Yes.
Okay, mine are. Pick any order you want. There, Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool, Man United. So I hate them teams. Okay.
Well, it did amaze me when, of course, everyone was. I don't know if we mentioned it, but everyone was going on about that darts player that was doing very, very well. As a United fan, I have no interest. I can't stand the bloke. As a United fan, I have no interest. Usain Bolt, I have no interest in Usain Bolt because he's a United fan. Rory McIlroy, I hope he drops off. Never wins another golf.
He just won in Dubai, mate. He won a few million quid.
He's inbred since being a kid. I just can't stand United.
No, I'll be honest. I don't hate people because they support United.
Well, it's not hate. It's can't be bothered with them.
All right, okay.
I'm not going to support them. Put it that way. I'm not going to stick even in the Ryder Cup. If McIlroy, it came down to a final putt and McIlroy had to do it, I'd hope he missed.
But look, I was a big Simply Red fan until I found out Mick Hucknall.
I've been to his concert. I've been to 2 live concerts at Wembley, mate. I mean, my ex used to be a big fan, but
this is it.
The only saving grace is his manager used to be a big Blue.
All right,
that was the only thing I used to latch on to. The manager earning money off him was a big City fan, so that was Elliot Rashman, was it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, his manager was a big City fan, so that was.
I was going to stop the stream there when you said you went to one of his concerts, but having said that,
two of his concerts.
I'll tell you what.
Hey, listen, mate. It's the first time I've been on the Wembley pitch, so I'll take that. I've been to Wembley a few times, but his first concert at Wembley Stadium, I managed to get on the pitch and kick a ball about. So that's my only bit of glory there. Did get into a fight though. Did get into a fight with a couple of Cockneys, but there you go.
Did you win? Did you
sort of, yeah, because everyone stuck up for me because they were annoying everyone. So I smacked one of them, offered the other one out, and they just moved away.
And this is a Simply Red concert.
Yeah, my ex never forgive me.
Oh, good. But look, I make fun of you. I take the piss out of you going to Simply Red. But hey, mate, I went to a Michael Bolton concert. Okay, so I tip my hat to you because I think Michael Bolton there'll be more piss taken out of me now that I said I went to a Michael Bolton concert in Sheffield.
Well, they both got good hair, haven't they? Let's be honest about it.
Well, we ain't got none, so I'm not talking about the hair. But seriously now, okay, there have been 3 matches in recent memory. I'll think that's stick-out cup matches between Spurs and Man City. Oh, okay, I'm not going to include the Champions League. Domestic Cup. I'm not going to include the Champions League. Domestic Cup matches, okay? There's that League Cup from a couple of years back, which you mentioned. Can you tell the viewers of 2 others that will or should stick in your mind?
The 4-3, obviously, at White Hart Lane. Cracking game, down to 10 men. Give up on it.
I've got to ask you this. I can't remember, but which pink piss flat was sent off for City that day?
Old Joey.
Joey Barton. Yeah. He's one of the most.
I was still expecting. It's funny actually. When he got sent off, I was still expecting him to come out for the second half. I hadn't quite. It hadn't quite clicked with me because it happened after the whistle, of course, for half time. So it hadn't quite clicked. So, hey, he's does us a favour, hasn't he? A couple of times being sent off.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we were better without him that day, and I think he's cementing his place as the most hated City player of all time recently with what he's out best and what he's done in his career at City. And we're not going to go into too much, but he stabbed Jason Tandy with a cigar in his eye. He kicked Usman Dembele, not Dembele, what's his name? Oh, I forgot his name now. The fellow who kicked in the head.
Yeah, I can't think of his head. I mean, I've been doing a few history things around that time when he was playing for City, and obviously it is, you do it, and he's sort of coming out of some of these games with his head held high, his good performances. It's such a shame that obviously he had that other side to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only has he kicked Sergio Aguero, you remember that? He kicked him. He tried to headbutt Vincent Kompany in that game. He had to be dragged off. He's a terrible. Even, I mean, if you heard, I'm just going to slight aside here, but Nedum Anua basically said he's a bully. He didn't. Nedum was going to, I can't remember where Nedum was going now, West Ham or wherever he was going, and he said he was worried about moving there because of Joey Barton. Anyway, that's an aside. But those 2 games, that 4-3 was fantastic. Another game, we have to mention the 81 Cup final. How sick were you in the replay?
We should have won it in the first game, mate. Simple as that. It was our game. They were never going to score past Big Joe that day. He was absolutely superb. One of his best performances in a City shirt. And if Tommy Hutchinson just hadn't moved, we don't know why he did it. What happened to him? He literally moved himself with the wall, and if he hadn't moved, it wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have gone in. They wouldn't have scored. It's simple as that. And there was only I can't remember. It was about 13 minutes left. It's quite late anyway. It's quite late in the game, and they weren't scoring. Tottenham just weren't scoring. They weren't up for it that first game. They were never going to win it. And as soon as we drew that game, and I stayed in London for the weekend. I was there with me father-in-law, and my ex-wife was heavily pregnant at the time. We had my daughter in September, but this was like May, but she was big. So yeah, I mean, I was talking to a taxi driver going back to the hotel after the game, and I said, "That's it. We're not going to win this replay because it can't be that bad again, Tottenham." Yeah. And obviously, I went back on the Thursday night. I just got a coach up on the night, and it just didn't feel right for me, and it ended up it wasn't right. So
yeah, that's what it is. But we haven't got. I wouldn't say it's exacted revenge, but that 4-3 at their place, we were 3-0 down at halftime, with a man set of Joey Barton sent off, and who scored the winner? you remember?
I do, mate, because I did it the other day. But he's got Mackham. Was it Mackham?
Yeah. He was ex-Preston.
My memory, I tell you what, mate, my memory's shocking. I literally do these vlogs, and about 3 days later, I forget everything I've written.
Well, he scored with that header, weren't it?
Yeah.
And we bought him
back
for
it same to so I headed it back, which is a classic header, headed back the way it came. So brilliant.
We bought him for 5 million from Preston. Odd things that you remember. Who's our manager at the time? KK?
I think it was, wasn't it? As I say, I literally, Kevin Keegan, yeah.
Okay. So so there's some historic stuff there. We'll gloss over the Champions League where they conned us. And Aguero missed that penalty at theirs. I was gutted. I said we'd have if he scores that penalty, we walk that time. But anyway, we move on. Let's forget that. We're defending.
We have to look at the elephant in the room, don't we? Our shocking things at that ground. Is it 5 times now we've played and not won one of them? Awful record.
We've lost one. We haven't scored yet.
We've never been slaughtered, and we've always probably had the as you'd expect the lion's share of the game. We're just not done it. And yet at White Hart Lane, when they were White Hart Lane and Wembley, previous to this, we've done very, very well. So whether it's a Pep problem as opposed to a City problem, we'll find out.
I don't know. That Wembley game, I remember I was there that night. It was fantastic. I think that was a Centurion season. And that was the time that we started singing. Because I went to a lot of games that season. I went to, I think, 30 games that season, which is a lot for me. And we were singing. I think basically we knew we were champions. We were inside.
That guaranteed it, really, didn't it?
We felt that for weeks. We were miles clear. I think we finished 18 points clear or something. We were miles clear. We were already in double figures clear, and I just think that's kind of cemented because there weren't many more difficult games left that season. So that was a fantastic experience. So got Spurs.
Well, Pep has to get over it, doesn't he, mate? Pep has to sort of get over this. He's done it at other places. He's managed to get overthinking. We used to call it overthinking. We've not said that much recently, have we, over the last couple of years, but. He needs to not overthink this. I think when we could look at our 11 later, I think we'll sort of say that he's probably got the tools to do the job. He's just got not to overthink it.
Yeah. Quickly moving on Spurs. Obviously, they're missing Maddison. They're missing a few players. Postecoglou has done all right there, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Richarlison. He's a bit like Lukaku for me. He looks brilliant at times, and other times an absolute disaster. So if he's on fire, he can score a hat trick. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't have him at City in a million years.
I'm not going that far that he can score a hat trick. I'm not buying that. But he's probably scored one hat trick in his whole career. But no, they've still got some good players.
Yeah,
obviously,
I like Kulusevski. I like him. Yeah. I think he's as I say, Maddison's injured, isn't he? So he's a big miss for him, isn't he, Maddison? I think I loved him at City, to be honest with you, rather than go there.
Yeah, no. Can you imagine if we'd got Maddison instead of Nunez or Kovacic?
Anyway, it's what it is.
Yeah, look,
you can't win them all.
Yeah, absolutely. But they've not got Son, they've not got Maddison, so that's obviously in our favour. Now, obviously, Harry Kane's not there anymore. I'm going to move on because I've got about 5 minutes left and go through the team. I want to see who you're going to pick. Now, Haaland is back. He's in training apparently, but he's been out for a while now. He's been out for about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So I'm not expecting him to start. I don't even expect him to feature really. I mean, if I had any way around it, I would
probably on the bench for Burnley, I'd imagine. But
that's what I'd like. So, would you? Starting main question: would you put out the best team against Spurs? Because we are.
I'll throw it back at you. Is there any reason, apart from the goalkeeper? Obviously, Edison's fit, but he won't play in this. I'll stick Ortega in, which is normal.
Is Edison properly fit?
Is there any reason at all why Pep just won't go with the same team, apart from the keeper, that we played in the last game against Newcastle?
Don't see. Don't see why not. Except, would you start KDB? That's my only issue.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I just still can't see KDB starting. I mean, having said that, some of the training pictures I've seen from Abu, because let's face it, they've had a week of warm weather, which helps. I mean, we all know he was stuck here. If I was in the warm, I'd feel far better, far fitter than I am sat here in this horrible weather. And he does look as though he's flying in training from the images.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. I agree, I understand that. But he came back on the 6th of, was it the 6th or the 7th? 7th of January, it was against Huddersfield Town. Was that the one he come back?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Then since then, we played the Newcastle game. He's had 2 weeks off after that, which is great. He only played 25 minutes or whatever. He played about 30 minutes against Huddersfield, 25 minutes against Newcastle. So he's been introduced actually quicker than I thought, but he's had 2 weeks off from actual football. So I'd like to think in those 2 weeks that's built up enough stamina and fitness to be able to play 60, 65, 70 minutes. So personally, I'd be interested. I'd consider playing him for 60, 60 and say, like, you've got an hour, show us what you got. And yes, there's a risk, but he's going to have to start games at some point. And for me,
I'm not worried about the risk. I'm just thinking impact-wise. I think against Spurs, you may still be better coming off the bench for the last 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes. If it's going well, if it's going badly, whichever way, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is, I mean, the Burnley game, you'd like to think we can beat Burnley without KDB.
Yeah.
So it could. I mean,
the way start that one. That's more, for me. That's more likely. Could start that and come off after 60 minutes.
But I personally like it the way I'd like KDB to play 60 minutes against Spurs. The Burnley game is 4 days later. No, actually, it's not. Actually, it's 5.
So Wednesday night,
and it's on Wednesday, so it's 5.
Yeah,
he could either be ready to start, or more likely, in my opinion, is to come out because he's not needed. You've got to look at everything. And actually, we've got. I'm going to go through quickly the games we've got. Got Spurs on Friday. We got Burnley on Wednesday, so there's enough rest. And then we've not got a game at the weekend. We've got Brentford on Monday, so we've got another 5 days. Then we've got Everton on Saturday. We've got another 5 days. So I actually think 5 days is better than 3 or 4.
Unless we get a cup replay, of course.
Yeah, well, I hope not. But I'm thinking, KD, you can start each game and play 60 minutes, 65. Or in the Burnley case, I mean, this is the way my brain thinks, play 60, 65 against Spurs because that's a harder game. Play 15, 20 against Burnley. You don't need to, come on at the end. Don't kill yourself or don't come on at all. Save yourself for the Brentford game. Yeah. And then Everton, because they're 5 days away, but obviously it depends on what the medics say, how he feels. So I'm going to ask you then, what's your team? What's the team you're picking?
Yeah, I'll run through it. As I said, the other things I've thought about, of course, is will Bob get rewarded for what he did against Newcastle, which, again, I don't expect him to. And, of course, Grealish might be willing to come back, but I'd rather have Doku than Grealish. So my 11, as I said, I fully go with what you're saying about KDB, so that wouldn't bother me at all. I expect to see KDB, whether at the start or at the finish, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So I'm going with exactly the same 11, apart from the keeper as Newcastle. Ortega, Walker, Diaz, Aki, Gvardiol, Rodri, Kovacic, Foden, Bernardo, Doku and Alvarez. And I expect to get 9 or 10 of those right, and perhaps KDB Foden might be one of those.
Did I miss that? You mentioned Foden, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, here's a question. If you do start with KDB, who misses out? Alvarez?
Yeah.
I agree, even though Pep's played him in all league games, but I agree with that. And
he's got to start. He's got to start. As you say, we've got to start seeing this KDB and Foden link up at some stage.
Well, the other thing is, I agree with the Doku and not putting Oscar Bob in, even though Oscar Bob did well against Newcastle and did all right against Huddersfield as well. The thing for me is Doku's just come back from injury as well. Now he's fit. You can see, he's starting games. He's ready, and he needs to be in the fray. So, why would you rest him? There's no need to rest him because he's not been playing.
The only thing that worries me is Doku and Gvardiol on the same side. I don't like the look of it.
Yeah, Look, this is Pep's fault. You know, Doku should be there. Gvardiol should be in the middle. Aki should be at left back. I'm very comfortable with Aki at left back. But it depends. You see, if you've got Foden, who's the guy working with Doku, I think that works. I think that's going to work. But the worry is if Foden's inside with KDB and you're using, Gvardiol and Doku, it doesn't fill me with confidence. And if you're going to have Gvardiol, then I'd want to have Jack, because Jack doesn't lose the ball. He doesn't do much. But
I mean, Doku lost it far too often against Newcastle for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, Pep knows what he's bloody doing, mate. But I mean, it's just looking from the outside. Obviously, it's something that has to gel, doesn't it?
Yeah. Last question, mate. Obviously, going to ask you for a score prediction. How much are we going to beat them by?
Well, listen, it's the script's written, mate. There's over, almost 9,000 Blues will be there. The script's written. We're going to win. We're going to win there. Not just score. We're going to win. All right, we won't slaughter them, but I'm going 2-1 for City.
You're going 2-1. I'm going 3-2 to City. I'm going 3-2. I expect to see lots of goals. It's a one-off game. You know, if you're losing 2-0, you're going to keep going for it, and you might get.
We'll be 2-1 down, and KDB will slalom through them to score a third.
Well, to be honest, mate, I hope that's not the case, because I don't know if my ticket can take it. I don't want to be losing. I want to be 3-0 up and let them score a consolation goal in injury time or something like that. But yeah, it'd be a cracking game. I'm jealous of you guys who are going down. As I said, guys, I cocked up. I hold my hands up. I never thought, because normally I've got plenty of points to get a ticket probably in the first 3 or 4 thousand.
These days, you've got to get on when they tell you the time. You've got to get on it, mate.
But the thing is, they stagger it. They normally stagger it, and it takes days to get to my points. Yeah. And I don't know. I never looked at the criteria because I was busy on the Monday, and I forgot on the Tuesday, and it had gone. And I was absolutely shocked that they sold out, and so my arse has been.
All these Cockney Blues, mate. All these glory hunters. That's what it is.
All these Man United fans. Omar Barad has gone to Man United, so they want to go and see what he did at City. All these Man United fans in London who want to see. They want to see the best team in all the land and all the world play. And it's not going to be them.
And I don't want to let this cup go yet, mate. I don't want that trophy tour. I don't want them to be showing it off, and it's not ours anymore. Even though it will be, it's not.
But the thing is, you get through this, you're into the 5th round. You're not far away from the end goal. So yeah, it'll be
going to be tough. Going to be tough, but
let's be tough. But you guys are going to make a lot of noise. That's the key. You guys, it's your first time there, and I told you it is a very atmospheric stadium. It is something to behold. They spent obviously an arm and a leg on it. That away, the home fans, that wall is, yes, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy the atmosphere. And if we win, you'll enjoy it tenfold. Bernard, thank you so much. If you want to catch Bernard, he's on the Citizen channel. And if you can subscribe to City Fan TV, that'd be fantastic. Give us a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get that. I don't know if we can get that icon that come. Hey! If you can give us a thumbs up and hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, please.